Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Global Diamond Broker Hard Truth Podcast, episode 83. This is your host, Colin Ferguson.
I'm the host. Do you decide these things unilaterally?
What does that mean?
Well, just in the moment, like by yourself, and you go, yeah.
I think in a previous episode, I said it's what I'm feeling that day.
Oh, okay.
I'm feeling like you're the host, and I'm the lovely co-host, GIA Judy.
GIA Judy.
Yes.
And I was writing that in my journal this morning, something about GIA Judy.
Were you stabbing your paper?
I was holding the pen like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
You look dashing today.
Is it this green? Because I had a bit of a problem with this shirt. I could not find it anywhere. And it was hanging in the wrong side of my closet. And I found it this morning. I thought it'd be a good choice. Huh?
Why?
I don't know.
Are you sure I didn't just hide it? Because I hated that shirt.
I don't know, Judy. It's so boring, though. Let's move on.
Okay.
Shall we? But I do agree I look dashing. Can we talk about my hair as well? Because I've been getting a lot of compliments on my hair.
Mm-hmm. With all that money
you know, I struggled at the...
I said with all that Rogaine you use, I mean, I would hope you'd grow some hair.
I think you know a little bit too much about me personally.
Because I share your washroom.
But either way, like it's kind of like crazy how many compliments I'm getting. So,
like my sister in the live.
Yeah, your sister in the live, Ruby. Thank you, Ruby.
Who else?
Like everywhere I go.
Everywhere you go. That's the first thing people mention when they see you is
people who haven't seen me in a little bit.
Your hair looks so nice.
Yeah, my hair.
You know what?
Because I have flow now. Apparently, the hairdresser said I have flow.
Yeah, but he also says a lot of things.
Yeah, I think he won't. Anyway,
He's probably listening into this podcast.
Yeah, he does listen to the podcast. And he's a heck of a nice guy and the best hairdresser in the world. And he was absolutely right about me growing my hair out. Now, how boring is that if you're tuning in to episode 83?
Do I have whipped cream on my lip?
Yeah, let me get it.
I'm good.
Oh, my God. Okay, some big news in the Hollywood world today.
Yeah.
Right? Like
some big news.
There's so much big news in the diamond industry. What is it I was going to talk about today? The experts in the industry, and I get a laugh out of this, who aren't experts, who know absolutely nothing about what they're talking about. The latest one being the fellow who has disappeared, who went on our Instagram when I said that G and H and I and J colored diamonds were dark and said, I've got you now. I've got you. I will, because I bet $5,000 against any information that I provide. I've got you now. You picked the wrong Instagram account. This is what he's saying to me, right? It makes me laugh. So, anyway, they're not dark diamonds, and I'm going to bet 10. Where did he go? What happened? There's 10 grand in my jeans. I mean, that's a holiday, not the Prime Minister of Canada's holiday.
And not our kind of holidays.
Like, oh yeah, not enough?
No.
Anyway, so.
That's not even enough to cover the booze.
Right. But one of us doesn't drink anymore, and one of us
it ain't me.
Shouldn't.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. That's so funny. Anyway, yes, Judy has problems with alcohol abuse. Okay, we may as well just say it if you're wondering.
That's not what I said.
Oh, isn't that what you said?
No.
Oh, sorry. No, she doesn't. Denial.
So this jeweler, was he a jeweler? Or was he just a random?
No, he was a jeweler.
Anyways, he went completely silent. Ghost, cricket.
When I took him up on his bet and suggested escrow to hold. And
I wonder if it's because he went on to the GIA, and the GIA even calls them darker. They get darker.
So you read all these posts, eh?
No, you just relay it to me 10 times.
No, you read them.
Oh, sometimes.
You had to have read that one because I didn't relay it. Yeah. Anyway, So yeah, and that was what I suggested. I said, look, before I take your money, because he's another example of yet another expert who says these things to me who hasn't got a clue what he's talking about. And this guy has been in the industry for ages. I mean, you can go on our Instagram. I don't take them down unless they're racist or bullying, right? Those are the two community guideline issues that I find offensive. And so we leave them up there, and I have no issues with them. If anybody wants to bet me on content, bet me on content. So this is another one of these experts. And the reason I talk about this, and you need to understand this, is being a jeweler, and this is going to sound weird, is not a profession. So all of you who are out there listening who want to get into the diamond industry and open a jewelry store and make these huge markups that these retailers make, do it. You don't need a license. You don't need an education. You can hang a shingle out, and it goes further than that. If you want to be an appraiser in the jewelry industry,
you do not need any formal training
That's
because
right.
the industry is not regulated.
That's right.
Anybody could claim to be a jeweler. Anybody can just, open up a shop and say, hey, I'm a professional jeweler.
That's right.
And with no background in the industry.
And this is going somewhere today, because let me tell you something. I had another situation which reared its somewhat unattractive head the other day when another GIA expert got on there and started talking to me about synthetics and how the GIA teaches courses in synthetics, and how the GIA is talking about lab-grown diamonds as a synthetic. And I brought it to his attention that the GIA is the exact same company. And look, I love the GIA. Let me preface this. They are the best grading, the best certificate in the world, the most accurate. You've heard me say it a million times. It's a quote of mine. It's the GIA, or no way. And what he was talking about was the fact that they have all these courses. And I said to him, the GIA is the exact same company that 2.5 years ago, decided they were going to stop polluting the environment by taking those certificates, those GIA certificates.
The paper ones.
They're not paper. They're plastic. And they're in these very expensive plastic sleeves. And when they took years to develop this program for the industry, for the consumer, wouldn't it be easier to just go online and see your GIA certificate? They put the program into action. They did all the research, and the GIA does over $100 million a year in certificates. Mm-hmm. It's big money we're talking about here, okay? And because of what I referred to as the bitching from the old, established, out of touch jewelry industry, the GIA ceased this program immediately. I mean, we didn't even get an option. I would have taken the option. We're
to go digital.
We're like so many people, we're pro the environment. I mean, environmentally, these things are plastic. The paper's laminated in plastic. The GIA certificate, they're very, very, very easy to counterfeit. There's another article today. I don't know if I didn't send it to you, I don't think, because you don't read them anyway. But just a pretty face, huh?
That's quite rude.
Is it?
Yeah.
It could be worse. It could be just an ugly face. That's rude.
That is rude.
Anyway, there's another case out of Italy today, an article that I was reading this morning, where, look, the diamonds are out of laboratories, and they are GIA laser inscribed.
As mined?
As mined. They have the GIA certificate as mined, but they're not. And what makes this article so interesting, and these are these handheld certificates, easy to counterfeit. They're easy to counterfeit. You can make them at home almost. Nowadays, photocopiers and everything else can make exact copies. They've been being sold. Now, here was the part for me that was tough. This article talked about the fact that unless you know your supplier, so this isn't the retail person getting this. These are the uneducated jewelers who, where it's not a profession, you don't need to know what you're doing, who are buying these and reselling them to the public, if you can imagine.
That's
So
horrible.
this is, we did a video recently on how do you know your diamonds out of a mine, and that's what you actually have. So verification becomes so important in these things. So there.
That was a
How
good rant.
Is that a good rant?
That was a
like
great rant.
I'm kind of on it. And you know what's happening too, GIA Judy?
Yes, the Global Diamond Broker.
By the way, I love the headband.
No, you don't. You said you hated it.
I was just kidding you though. I walked into the studio this morning and looked at her and went, what'd they say? You're
you
not wearing
hiding?
that headband. She said, yes, I am. I said, oh, okay. I don't really win the arguments, by the way. And by the way, when I misbehave on here, which is most of the time, if she doesn't hit me immediately, I do get it off the air. Okay, so it ain't pretty. It's hard to be me on these.
You're just airing it all out today, aren't you?
So I thought your story today about so that's the hard truth. That's one of the truths you're dealing with today in our industry. So whether you're a wholesaler, whether you're a dealer, whether you're I really don't understand all the different names for all the different levels, and I've been doing this for over 4 decades.
Although he doesn't look it.
Thank you, Judy. Is it the hair?
What?
The hair, right?
It's the hair, yeah.
Anyway, thanks, Alex. Thanks. What's the name of the studio again? I go to. What are they
I
called?
don't know. I don't
I
have my
wish I
haircut
could give
there.
them a shout out, and I can't remember the
Oh my
name.
God.
But
Do you want me to
Alex
look
is
it
my
up?
buddy. Yeah, sure. They actually, yeah. Anyway, my hair. Can you imagine? What kind of man am I?
Kaboom.
Kaboom.
How do you
Okay,
not
Alex
remember a
from Kaboom.
name like Kaboom?
Well, he's one. I don't know. Apathy, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Alex is my boy. So thanks for the flow.
Okay, is it my turn to talk now?
Okay.
So, for my portion of the Hollywood Buzz, I want to talk about a recent event that happened on the Golden Globes. So, Keltie Knight, a famous TV personality, was seen on all fours at the Golden Globes.
That sounds wrong. She was on all fours.
Okay, well,
Like what
you
was
didn't.
going on at the Golden Globes? Is this like the Seinfeld episode? Oh,
Let me rephrase.
yeah. Let's not talk.
Keltie
I don't
Knight-
even want to think. Well, maybe I do. I got to look at Kelsey a little closer.
Keltie Knight was. Can you stop?
Go ahead.
You just have a dirty mind. That's all. So,
I don't think anybody missed Kelsey Knight who was on all fours.
all fours searching. Okay, anyway, so
Okay.
Keltie Knight was all the talk this past week at the Golden Globes. She lost her 4-carat mined diamond from her engagement ring.
It just fell out.
It just fell out. She looked down at her hand and her rock went missing.
And so
And this rock was uninsured, so she didn't have it insured. She was freaking out, panicking. She never found her original diamond, and she even told people that it's probably stuck to the bottom of someone's shoe or Jennifer
and it
Lopez.
was a 4-carat?
Did I stutter?
No, you said 4-carat.
Yeah.
Well, do you recall recently when we had a 4-carat go missing in one of our Asian clients in Taiwan? Mm-hmm. And
I thought we
the
weren't
reason
gonna
I'm
talk
asking
about
a good
this.
question here. Like, did they go back to see, and listen to this question, because this is how they found their 4-carat. All the cameras that would be there, was the diamond in the ring when it went to the Golden Globes? Because she would have had to walk along the red carpet and everything.
Yeah, it was originally on her ring, and somewhere during the day, she looked down
But
at
not
her
during the day, during the award ceremony, because when they come in, they do the red carpet. So they'd be able to see if it was on her, which would mean it was lost in the Golden Globes Awards, which would mean we have a diamond thief at the Golden Globes.
What are you, a detective?
No, but this is how our client, who lost a 4-carat, D flawless, the most perfect mined diamond you can have. This is a $500,000 stone.
Type 2A.
Type 2A,
Yeah,
letter
all
from
the bells and
GIA.
whistles.
The way they found it was they went back and CCM, what do they call those cameras? Closed circuit monitoring?
CCTV.
Yeah, CCTV. Exactly. And that's how they knew that she had it on in the taxi on her way into the house, and they found it in her top dresser drawer. Apparently there was a little involved.
I wouldn't know anything about that. Okay, anyways, please let me finish.
Okay.
So she said that either the diamond fell out and it stuck to the bottom of someone's shoe, or it was attached to Jennifer Lopez's rose cape that she was wearing. So that leads me to believe that she lost it at the Golden Globes. She had it on. It fell off somewhere during the day. Anyways.
During the Golden Globes.
During the Golden Globes. Yeah.
So,
anywho, there is a happy ending to the story because she eventually decided she was going to upgrade her ring. So she ended up with a 5-carat laboratory created diamond. And it was a princess cut, actually. Which we
that's
don't
so
see.
interesting that she would decide to go laboratory.
And she even went so far as to say, when Rihanna says, shine bright like a diamond, I'm almost positive she means a lab-grown beauty.
She said Rihanna, she's almost positive that Rihanna means a lab-grown beauty. Wow. So this is, again, we have these situations which taken by itself would be interesting, but it's not by itself. This is a trend in Hollywood now,
Yeah,
which you've
absolutely.
reported on before. I can remember way back when we did something, or you did something, on all the people, including Rihanna at the time, and including other celebrities who are wearing lab grown, who are choosing lab grown because of the environmental aspects of it, the ethical aspects.
I think she just wanted a big, fat, pretty rock.
Well, she can probably afford them, whether they come out of a mine or a
Yeah,
lab.
that
though.
is true.
So
She
it
is
has to
married
be
to Chris Knight. I don't know if you know who that is.
No.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, Chris, shout out to you, boy.
He's someone
Bro,
famous in the music
You married
biz.
well, huh?
He's someone famous in the music biz. Kelty is actually an Edmonton-born person.
Good for her to get out of it. I can't say that. We do a lot of diamond
Oh my
engagement.
God.
All over the well.
Aren't you from Timbuktu all the way in the East Coast? You can't be talking
Please, we're not talking about me right now. Are we? Or are we? Hey, it's my favorite subject. Well, so here's some more. That is a good story. You've done well with your stories out of Hollywood.
about. Whose idea was it again?
We should call her and see if she wants to come on the podcast.
Okay.
You don't want to call her and see if she wants to come on? She may want to. We're going to have to. Okay, so,
Kelty, have your people call our people.
yeah.
We'll set
Kelsey,
something
reach out, okay?
Kelty.
Kelty. Oh, sorry, Kelty. I can't hear a damn thing with these headphones on, but they look so good, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's talk about what's going on globally in the diamond industry.
Okay, let's wrap it up soon, though.
Okay, so here's what's going on globally. And I think there's a couple of things. First of all, we just got our second order out of Ireland, which is kind of cool. Not Belfast, but an hour and a half's drive from Belfast. And it's someone who's in the jewelry industry who's looking for the world's most beautiful diamonds.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, she's actually works in a jewelry store.
Oh, that's
And
hilarious.
reached out to us to not only for the diamond, and of course, look, we say this over and over, but we have the best prices on the most beautiful diamonds in the world. That's it. Period. I don't care if you're a jewelry store. I don't care if you're an individual. These are it. And we're going to be reflecting that soon in the launch of our own brand, which we'll talk about in a little bit coming up in the next weeks and months. But second to that is our craftsmanship is second to none in the world. And so when we make jewelry, so she actually ended up ordering the diamonds and then ended up ordering the ring from us as well. Mm-hmm. So that's that's a global story right now. It'll be shipped from our New York offices directly to her in Belfast, or an hour and a half outside of Belfast. And the other big story in the world is Belgium. And Belgium right now, you've all heard, look, the mine diamond industry or the natural diamond industry or the whatever you want to call them is in such disarray, and the amount of absolute bullshit coming out of that industry is unbelievable. So I want to explain this story. The G7, all the countries like, the U.S. and Canada and all have gotten together and made an embargo against Russia on their diamonds. Now, what's going on in the industry today is that Belgium, where I had an office for 15 years, and bought in the very prestigious, really the center of the diamond universe, Belgium was for about 450 years before India took over the business. Well, this is interesting because one of the ways the Russians have been getting around, and you know this story, the embargo, was to send them to
India,
where they would be
recut, basically transformed so much so that they couldn't be able to tell where the diamonds originally came from.
That's exactly right. So now what Belgium has said, because of the problem with the vastness of the Indian market and the fact, I think there's a little bit of sour grapes here, and the fact that, India really has taken over the industry in the last quarter century, is Belgium, in order to, and this actually makes a lot of sense, and it's an argument they're making right now, wants all the diamonds, the rough diamonds that are mined in the world, to go through Belgium again to make sure the Russians aren't getting their diamonds in there.
Really?
Interesting story, right? And so they're arguing it. Now, Martin Rappaport, who is kind of like the GIA,
who hates millennials, by the way.
Who hates millennials because they want lab-grown diamonds, and really goes the way the wind goes. And the wind is the hot air the old established industry blows. Okay, so he's going no to Belgium, but we know that the Russians are getting their diamonds in there. We know that they're coming from Russia.
Yep.
And, as a solution to that, these Russian diamonds are blood diamonds. And these are things going on today in the diamond industry. And so I think Belgium has a case. Martin, respectfully, I know the pressure on you because of the vastness and the power and on your business is great, but you must admit it's a way to stop the flow of blood diamonds. Like, get some, it's like I said in this response, get some balls, bro, right? Stand up for what's right, not just the mighty dollar. Okay, I'm really ranting today, eh?
Yeah.
I think it's this green power shirt.
Okay.
That's.
There's one sure way to know that your diamond isn't a Russian blood diamond.
Oh, yeah.
Can you guess?
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good. You seem to get better at this all the time, eh?
I'm a good teacher.
No, let me guess. Get a lab grown.
Oh, how did you know?
You and Kelty, right? Well, ethically, environmentally, and certainly economically, it's a better choice. And boy, the stuff going on, are we over time? How much time do we have left? I can save this. We're done?
We could wrap up pretty
soon. Okay, we got to wrap up quick? Okay. The damn French. France. Again. That's all I want to say. I'm going to come back and talk about it next week in episode 84.
Okay, awesome. Thanks so much for tuning in, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
That was really a good podcast today.
Wasn't it?
I'm so impressive on these.
Your peace sign.
And your story. What? Oh, see you next week.